I'm Sean Childs of fantasyanalyst.substack.com. I wanted to test my Starlink internet, which I haven't used in a while since I got it when I'm doing the videos, and I got to do a live draft at 10 o'clock for the NFFC and a Cutline Championship, which I haven't really done any drafts, but I did do on my way to San Francisco last week. Underdog Weekly Winners Draft, which is basically I think it was a $10 entry fee or something like that, and you draft the team for $10. You have a chance to win $20,000. I think for every week in the football season, it could be 17 weeks. Second place is 10,000, and basically you're just drafting your team, and you get some action every week with it, and it's kind of an interesting format. Kind of last year I did a little bit of work on the battle royal that Underdog did, which was 16 drafts with six roster spots. I thought it was interesting. This one has 12 rounds of 12 players. No, wait, 50, actually 18 rounds. So 12 teams, 18 rounds of players. Best ball format, starting quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, and 1 flex. And when I view this game, I think that the way that I want to play it is draft to 1 quarterback and pin my tail on the donkey on 1, offense if possible. Obviously, the draft flow is going to change a little bit. I think it's really, really important to have a really good foundation tight end and maybe even multiple tight ends, because the tight end position, it can be really be a difference maker for you. This draft didn't actually break that well for me as far as the quarterback position. And I have to see if I can add the screen. I probably should have done that before, and I'm kind of rookie. Sorry. Let's see. Add share screen, and let's see here. Windows, entire screen. All right. So I'm gonna share this screen right here, and this is the first 6 rounds of the draft, and I don't know why it doesn't show it all the way there, but let me that. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. So I had the 7th pick, and in this draft, I wanted to be strong at running back. In this case, like in a main event or something like that, like Christian McCaffrey, great player, was the best running back in the league. Actually, outscored every other quarterback and every other player in fantasy last year, and he does offer impact value. But when you're doing a $10 league for you're trying to win just 1 week for 20 grand. McCaffrey is a very talented player, and he's going to be a pretty good value in this. Running backs are kind of important. It's a half PPR format. So I went with McCaffrey in the first round. I was going to take a tight end in the second round, no matter what, because like you said, I want to kind of, keep that foundation there for me. At least I think if he comes in, I have an edge, where a lot of these teams, it was I think it was team 4 that drafted 3 tight ends at the end of the draft. And, he could have some good weeks, but the chances of him having a good week and hitting on the tight ends that really don't have a great opportunity are going to be a little more difficult. And there's obviously, what did I give up by taking Brock Bowers in the second round? I could have had London, I could have Pickens. If I had, George Pickens, and maybe I want to, stack him with the Dallas quarterback Prescott. So Bowers it was. And from that point on, I was kind of looking for upside and, guys that can score touchdowns. I thought Ibuka for Tampa Bay kind of made sense. Higgins scored 11 touchdowns and 10 in the last 2 years. McConkey's coming off a bad year. Neighbors a little banged up, got some injuries. Zay Flowers should be pretty active this year. Doesn't score a lot of touchdowns, so impact games are kind of tough. Evans could be a pretty good fit in San Francisco. See if he can squeeze one more year. I like McMillan of Carolina. I think that's a pretty good value there. So I took the best available wide receiver. I didn't like Ibuka's last year, where his catch rate was kind of down and he kind of disappeared in the back half of the season. But I think Tampa's going to use him in a lot of more catches close to the line of scrimmage, and he can work deep as well. So I think he's going to have a little more value. The next round took a running back. Running backs are going to kind of die in the 12-team format, and you're going to have limited options. My goal in this was to draft 5. And I really wasn't going to handcuff anything unless it broke right. So Henderson is potential to be an explosive running back. Before him, Williams had a pretty good year for Dallas. He was off the board. Junkins plays for Cleveland, not a great offense. Scadabo coming off an injury. Montgomery, split role. Irving's kind of banged up, decent player. Swift, split role. So I think Henderson, even in a split role, he offers the kind of explosiveness I was looking for this type of format, especially when I don't anticipate doing a lot of teams. I would like to do more of these. It's just a matter of time and how I balance it out. So then I come back with, DJ Moore, going with Buffalo. Buffalo's, Josh Allen's had close to 40 touchdowns, and a lot of them rush in the last, 4, 5, 6 years. A pretty good, passer, but he hasn't had really a dynamic wide receiver. Moore has a chance to kind of fill that Diggs role, maybe work close to line of scrimmage, make some big plays, and maybe not going to be a 12 touchdown guy, but have the games where maybe he hits 2 or 3 touchdowns in a game once in a while, maybe get 7 or 8. In the next round, Price from Seattle, his ADP in this was like 65, so he kind of fell like one pick past that, and I think he was really the important pick for me. I think he's in a great opportunity in Seattle. Charbonneau, for Seattle, I don't expect him back until Thanksgiving, and he might be a slow out of the gate. He might be back a little bit earlier, but he's going to take him. It takes 9 months to recover from his injury, his surgery and stuff like that, and he had it in like late February. That's 9 months, and then maybe a couple weeks he's split role. So, like, to me, Price is a really, really talented player. They're kind of saying the right stuff in Seattle, where that he is going to be. We didn't get him as a heavy volume running back, but the other players behind him just really aren't that good. I don't fear the Holuna guy, or I don't even know what his name is. Sorry, but I should know it. But there's so much going on there with doing different stuff that names. I'd have to have it sitting in front of me. But anyways, like Price, I think he's a great value. I expect in August he's going to move up in drafts. Could be even like a 4th rounder if he's getting a little more buzz and the coach speak change it a little bit. Went with DK Metcalf for 2 reasons: changing coaching staff, plays with Rodgers, will probably give him chances again, and he has the potential to score more touchdowns. He was kind of like underperformed the expectations last year. Pittsburgh was a little more conservative team. Didn't throw the ball as much. Looked like to win the games close in the 4th quarter. I don't think that'll be the case this year. I think it'll be better for him. So based on him going where he went, it doesn't say the number of wide receiver is. He was off the board. Sometimes it gives you the number 1, but he does. Was he the 30th wide receiver or 35th? But so I went for a guy that could score touchdown, was upside. Came back with Xavier Worthy. Was really got bust last year. Got hurt early in the year. He was pretty good, really, really good the year before, coming off an injury. Will Mahomes be ready? But he has the talent to be a lot better player. And when you're drafting that late, so the draft is going away from me. So Godwin was next, kind of possession receiver, doesn't score a lot of touchdowns. Josh Downs, close to the line of scrimmage. Sutton, he's got a little Waddle there, a little more competition. And then I took Michael Wilson, who had a great finish last year, showed that he could win jump balls. If Brissett plays again at quarterback, he's going to be a pretty good situation where he's going to have some games, maybe not be as dominant with Harrison on the field, but I kind of like what I got there, and he was really my 5th wide receiver. I was kind of caught at the quarterback position, but I knew when I did my projections, which I didn't have in front of me, but I had Nix rated as a pretty good, a top 6 quarterback. He played really, really well 2 years ago at the end of the year. Had 21 touchdowns, like I think of his last 8 to 10 games or something like that, where last year it was just kind of like he had similar stats, but he just wasn't explosive. Denver played good defense. They just really didn't fire where they were like, kind of really talented offense, and I thought they would be better. I'm looking for him to bounce back. They got Waddle there. The pieces should be where he runs a little bit, scores some touchdowns. So based on where he was going, Goff steady, can have some big games, has some talent. Love, not really a fan of him. Mayfield's coming off an injury. Don't really like the mix of things. Sam Darnold has one great receiver, really a running team. Kyler Murray, I do like him. I think that he would be a player I would have probably taken a shot on the next round if I had missed on a quarterback. But anyways, I take Nix. I went to bed with him. He runs a little bit. Hopefully he has a few big games. I don't have any hookups with him, unfortunately. Came back with Ferguson. I had the choice between Kelsey and him. And the decision there was, I figured Ferguson, that Dallas would throw a lot. He doesn't make big plays anymore, but he can have some like 6 or 7 catch games, and he can score touchdowns a little bit, maybe get 7, where Kelsey, still, he's creeping up the last last hole of his career. And so will he score a touchdown? He only scored like 4 or 5 last year. 85 catches. Just lost faith in what Kansas City's offense is doing, and I just chose Ferguson just because of maybe I got a chance, and hitting on him. And Gadsden from Chargers just won another decent tight end that could potentially have a game for the Chargers. Just like trying to mix it up. I think, like I said, the tight end position was kind of important for me in this format. No hookup. I went with Coleman. I have 8 RJ Harvey rated way higher than most. Dobbins is a pretty good player, but he tends to get hurt. I think Coleman may be like late in the year he'd do something. He's pretty much by taking him. I have 3 good running backs, and I'm kind of taking a 0 here. But the best available player that you can take, Charbonneau. I don't want to handcuff a guy for half a season. I'm going to get 0s. Pacheco's, I'm not really think that he's going to be really, really active in Detroit. So it's going that way. They went before me. Tajay Spears, I don't even at the third. I like Singleton that over there are better than him. He's okay, can have some gains. Bigsby's gonna not have much here. So then it went Marks, Algier. So I kind of went for a guy later in the year that would maybe potentially last 4 or 5 weeks. Maybe I could catch a game. Williams of Washington, they're gonna use him kind of at the closer to the line of scrimmage, kind of possession type guy. Really don't have anybody stands out as a second option in the passing game. Tight ends really aren't going to command a lot of passes, and even the running back position in Washington won't attract a lot of balls that way. Even though White signed there, and he does upgrade their third down passing for that third down running back passing option for them. Came back and I just took Hawkinson. Just took a flyer on him. Coming off a couple down years, doesn't really. Kyler Murray is a dink-and-dunk player, passer for me, but he has good weapons this year. I want to see how Minnesota handles him this year, because if he could throw a lot more and throws the ball downfield, he could be a lot more attractive player. But Hawkinson, maybe, Murray, when he was there, he threw to McBride a lot. Maybe Hawkinson has a few better games. Again, I'm just trying to add tight end depth the way I was playing this thing. Took a shot on Singleton, like I mentioned, when Spears. Just think that he could be the more talented back. Paulie gets a little older, maybe he gets nicked up. And I went with in the 17th round, I decided to go with Mendoza. There wasn't really I could have handcuffed maybe McCaffrey and got 0s. I figured, well, if I get Mendoza, maybe he doesn't start right away, but I got at least a hook up with my quarterback and see if he develops late in the year. There's not really any of the players that went after him. That was maybe Butte of New England could pop a game. And then I just took a flyer at Tyreek Hill. I mean, the same thing, take a backup player or minimal help, and I know the reports haven't been great on Hill or even signing with a team, but if he signs and he is productive, he has a better resume, has done it before. So I just want to kind of walk through that a little bit, talk about it, just a little bit different game here. The baseball mania game they have where it's $25 and you can win $2 million for first, $1 million for second. I think that game's a little more of a game that you have to kind of stack. But the problem with that is, you stack the best teams and you try to get the best combinations. But when it gets to weeks, 15, 16, 17, each year there tends to be like an outlier, low value combination that kind of pushes teams through. And last year it was quarterback for New Orleans and Olave. New Orleans was supposed to have the worst offense in the league. Their starting quarterback, Shao, wasn't really even going to be a starter. I really did. I had a bad outlook for him, and he outplayed my expectations, and he was at least a decent value there. So, but like I said, so you kind of need to have hit on the back end of your roster to kind of push through. But obviously, you got to have the right structure to get there too. So, but it'd be a little more balanced where I would probably have 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 7 receivers, 2 to 3 tight ends, depending if I had somebody up front. And then sometimes you just got to take a position if you're strong in a position that hopefully you stay healthy and the players play well. So that's what I wanted to run through. I wanted to test this, see how it works, and I'll post this on Substack and a little bit of my thoughts on it as well, and we'll see what happens there. So if I can get out of this screen, I can probably try to shrink this and get out of it. So it's blocking me right now. So actually I'll just X out of it here. So, and that's it. All right, let me see. Sorry. This is giving me controls and I am muffing this up. Again. If I can ever get out of this screen. I usually don't have the secondary screen drop down to the bottom, so maybe I won't even publish this. Exit screen. There we go. We did it. We exit screen. So that's all I have for you. And thank you.